So today we're going to test this paper that I just got recently from the 12 by 12 cardstock shop. And we are going to be using the paper to cut this really cute little beach card. So this is going to be what we're doing today, and I hope you enjoy making it with me. So I scanned the barcode or the on the front, the QR code on the front of my paper pack to get the information about this cardstock and to find out what settings I should be using for my Cricut. So this is the website. This is what comes up whenever you scan the QR code, and it's got some pretty good information here. It talks a little bit about the background of the 12 by 12 cardstock shop, and that they specialize in cardstock for Cricut and silhouette crafting. So it's really specifically made for cutting, according to the website. And I assume that there are other, they would still work with other cutting machines as well. So they've got this, these settings here, and you can download the cutting chart. And let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit here, and we'll look and see what all is included in their download. So they've got Cricut, Silhouette, Brother, Caesar, and Singer machines. So that's really cool that they've got all of those different machines, represented there. Now I have got a Cricut Maker 3. And so the settings for my Cricut Maker 3, and I know this is a little bit blurry. I'm sure that if you print it, or if you download it and print it out, it'll be a lot better. But it looks like for my machine, the medium weight cardstock setting is the best choice for me. It's interesting because it looks like with the Maker, just the regular Maker, you have to use the heavy cardstock setting. So interesting. But for mine, I can use the medium weight cardstock. There's no need to include the blade depth, because Cricut automatically chooses your blade depth for you. Not so much on Silhouette. Silhouette, you actually got to choose your blade depth. And I do have a Silhouette. I have a Cameo. I'm not going to use it today. I'm going to use my Cricut. It's my that's my favorite machine, so that's the one I'm going to use. And then it gives you the pressure that is going to be used to cut it, which in this case is 320, I guess, pounds of pressure. Only uses one pass. No need to change the speed on it. Whereas if I were using my Cameo, it would tell me to put the speed on 4, and then it uses a fine point blade, and then my Cameo would just use the auto blade or the manual blade, either one. So that is really good information to know. Simple, medium setting. And then it gives you some more information here about test cutting and just different things to know about your Cricut machine and this kind of thing. So if you want to get on here and look at this, it might have interesting information for you. So I thought that I would include that in this tutorial, just so that you know that there is more information out there on the cardstock, on the 12 by 12 cardstock shop website. And we will get started cutting this cute card. One thing I wanted to do before we actually started cutting was to show you that I made this color chart so that you could see which colors we're going to be using for which cuts. So I sort of guessed at the actual color in Illustrator here when I designed this card, and it's not actually the hex code of the paper, so I did the best I could for color matching. So the first thing that we're going to use is the Capri Cove, and that is going to be the base of the card, and we're just going to use it for that one cut. The lavender blue unicorn iridescent foil, We're going to use that for the body of the seashell, and I've represented it here by this pink swatch. Since we don't have a setting for iridescent foil in Illustrator, I could make it, but it would be some trouble to do, so I'm not going to do that. Peachy Keen is the color we're going to use for the starfish top. And then I neglected to put an arrow from the hazelnut to the sand, but I will. The hazelnut is going to be used for this piece of the sand. Sand dollar is going to be used for the foam on the ocean, and then also for the back of the starfish. Then the sea mist is going to be used in two different places, this wavy piece, this wavy layer, and then the outline of the seashell. So now that we know exactly what we're doing, let's get started cutting. Okay, here are the papers that we're going to be using for this card. And these are all the Encore papers. This is the first time that I've used them, and we're going to see how good they cut. There are quite a few intricate details in this card, so I'll be interested to find out how detailed this paper will allow you to cut. I've got just the regular Cricut blade in my machine. It's not brand new, although it's not old. I've just put it in there probably a couple of days ago. But I use my Cricut a lot, so the colors that we have here are the sand dollar, which is going to be the foam. And then we've got, this is Peachy Keen, and that's going to be the starfish. This is Sea Mist, and that's going to be the waves. This is Capri Cove, and this is going to be the actual card itself. And then I'm going to try using this cool lavender blue unicorn iridescent foil, and it's a little difficult to see it in the camera, but I'm going to use this on the seashell. So I've already got the sand color, or the foam color. It's actually called Sand Dollar, on my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and get started cutting the Sand Dollar, and let's see how good this cuts. Okay, I've got the Sand Dollar loaded as the first color that we're going to be using in my Cricut, and I'm going to go ahead and push the load button and start cutting. This is not something that is, well, it might be a little bit intricate. Let's just let it cut and see what happens. Okay, I'm not sure that you can see this. I don't think that you can, but this is a pretty intricate piece of work here, and I'm just going to peel this off of my mat and see how cleanly it will peel off. And it is super clean. Look at that. There are no little hanging little tags on there. There's no fuzz. It is like super, super clean. So I am very, very pleased with this. Let's look at what our starfish looks like. I'll gently lift it. Same thing. It's very, very clean. So I am thrilled with that. It's exciting. So let's continue cutting. So I'm very pleased with the way that everything turned out. I was interested to find out how well that this iridescent one would cut, and man, it just cut out great. I'm really, really pleased with it. And I like the contrast between the outline of the shell and the actual shell. So I think that turned out great. Even the little pieces of the little dots, my camera doesn't want to focus, but the little tiny dots even cut out very well in the starfish. And the intricate pieces in the sand, all of these pieces cut out very nicely as well. So I think that this paper is going to work. It looks great. So let's get started putting this card together. And as always, the first thing we're going to do is fold it on the score line. And I usually like to use a bone folder to get a good, nice crease here. Yeah, here it is. It's my bone folder. And I'm just going to get a real nice sharp crease there. And it makes it lay nice and flat. And you've got the choice as to which side you want to use. This side is, it's still embossed with the linen look, but it's not as prevalent as this side is. So I might change my mind and want to do this side. This has got a lot more texture on it. And I like the way it looks, so I think I'm going to switch and use this side. And I'm sorry you can't really tell. Maybe you can tell a little bit that way. The texture that's on the card. And maybe it just depends on what color it is. Not sure if it's better lighter, but that's a little bit better. You can kind of see that it's a linen kind of texture. And it's really very pretty. So these are going to be stacked on each other. So you've got each of these 3 pieces stacked on the top. And then you're just going to glue that on to the front of the card. So I'm not going to use pop dots on this one because I feel like it's not going to look as good if I use pop dots on this. So I'm not going to do that. I might look at what it's going to look like with the seashells, but as for the front of the card, I think I'm just going to go with it just flat. So I'm going to go ahead and get started putting it together. But first, let me find my glue. Okay, found it. This is my glue runner, my favorite type of glue because it is not messy, and I am a messy crafter. So anything I can do to keep myself from being so messy, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that looks good. Now this one. If you wanted to, you could put a little bit of glue underneath those. I'm not going to in this case, but you could. Okay, now you've got the base of your card ready to go. I'm going to use a little bit of the pen glue for this. I'll let that dry a second. And now I'm going to make a decision about if I want to use a pop dot or not. Maybe I will. And you can kind of just place this wherever you want it. That looks cute. I like the pop dots. And I think I'm just going to put this one flat. And there you go. A cute little beach card. I really hope that you've enjoyed making this card with me today and helping me test the new Encore 12 by 12 Cardstock Shops paper. I really have enjoyed using it. My final analysis is that it's good paper. It cuts very cleanly. This card has quite a few intricate pieces. This is particularly intricate and hard to do typically because it's so thin. But this paper cut very well on that, and also the little tiny pieces in my starfish. So I'm very pleased with it, and I'll recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you next time. This craft is one of many fun projects I have designed. If you like my work, be sure to click on the link in the description box below to check out my other crafting projects. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you'll be the first to know when I upload new content. Hey, do you like freebies? I have a link for that. Click on my freebie link for an instant download craft bundle that I put together just for you.